Welcome to Sleep Tight Frights, the place where bedtime stories don't always end sweetly. I'm Evergrey, your storyteller in the shadows. Each tale is a little strange, a little spooky, and just creepy enough to keep you peeking over the covers. So settle in, close your eyes, but don't fall asleep just yet. Yesterday was a special day. It was the Canadian National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, a day to remember, to listen, and to carry stories forward with care. I am Evergrey, a Métis writer. Today I share with you a story called The Skirt That Carried a Shadow. Because every skirt carries more than fabric. It carries threads, memories, and the love of those who stitched it. It carries the dances already danced and the steps still waiting to be taken. This is the story of Wren, a girl who thought she was only putting on a skirt, but discovered she was carrying a shadow and a path that belonged to more than herself. This is The Skirt That Carried a Shadow. Wren liked to stand at the edge of things, the edge of the gym, the edge of the firelight at community nights, the edge of the rink boards where cousins practiced their step dance. From there, she could see everything without being seen. That was how she learned the way the ribbon skirts moved. Not just the bright parts, but the quiet parts too. The way the fabric breathed when someone took a steadying inhale. The way ribbons lifted at the exact moment a foot left the floor. The way aunties laughed with their whole bodies, shoulders soft, hips sure, eyes shining like they knew a secret. And this was it. The circle, the song, the belonging. Wren kept a notebook in her pocket. On the inside cover, she had written, "Watch with care." It was a reminder. Do not stare. Do not poke your nose into a story that is not yours. Learn with your eyes and your heart. She made little sketches when no one was looking. Nothing with faces, only hems and lines, a curve where a skirt swayed, a teeny arrow where the ribbon lifted on a turn. When she shaded, she used light strokes. She did not want to bruise the page. At a fall-round dance last year, Wren held coats on a bench and passed out cups of water. Auntie June called her the water keeper, then pressed a kiss into Wren's hair. A drum beat touched Wren's ribs each time it rose, then settled. She watched a circle form, then thicken, then loosen again. Ribbons flickered with small fires, red, blue, yellow, and so many greens that Wren started naming them under her breath. Willow green, bottle green, riverbed green. The words for the darkest, mossiest green stayed on her tongue. She had not yet found the right name. She drew a circle that filled the page and wrote in the margins, "How do they know where to put their feet?" The next night, maybe the drums tell them. Maybe their feet already know. She did not write the truest sentence, tugging the edge of her thoughts. I want to know, too. Her mother wore jeans and soft sweaters. She said she danced more when she was younger. Work and tired feet had a way of changing a person's clothes. Kokum wore ribbon skirts for birthdays, funerals, and whenever the weather felt like it needed reminding that people were still here, still bright. Kokum kept a cedar chest at the edge of her bed. Wren had seen it opened only once, when the family laid tobacco for a relative who had walked on. The smell that rose was cedar and sweetgrass, and something older, a smell that made you step softer. Sometimes Wren stood in the doorway and asked to come in. Kokum always said yes. They beaded in the late light. Kokum's hand moved slower now. She said that was good. Slower hands missed less. "You watch with your whole face," Kokum said once. "You learned that from your Moosham." He looked like that when he was fixing engines, forehead folded, eyes like wrenches. Wren pretended she was not proud. "I am making a list of greens," she said. "There are always more," Kokum said, "with color, with people, with days. You think there are 3? Look closer. There are 16. Wren waited to find the name that felt true. September turned the air crisp. Wren and her mother picked late raspberries. Their hands turned pink. A crow called from the hydro line, and the sky looked like it had been washed and hung on a string. Lake Light, Wren thought. That name felt right. Inside, Kokum boiled water and set out the good teacups, the ones with the hairline cracks that felt like maps under your fingers. A braid of sweetgrass waited beside the kettle. The bedroom door was open, the cedar chest waiting too. Come, Kokum said. I need your hands. They lifted the heavy lid together. The smell rose like a memory you had not touched in a long time. Cedar, sweetgrass, lemon balm, old smoke, time holding its breath. Kokum did not reach straight in. She looked down a long time, then pulled back a top cloth and took out a folded bundle. Green. Wren saw that first. Not bottle green, not willow. This was a green that had wanted a name. Moss green. The kind that grows where the forest stays hush and holly. Her heart jumped. Kokum laid the skirt on the bed and smoothed the fabric with both palms. The ribbons caught the light. Fire red, sky blue, golden yellow, and at the hem, stitched so finely you had to lean in, a thin silver line that winked like morning frost. That was mine, Kokum said, quiet, careful, my first. For me? Wren asked, then swallowed. If I am ready? If you are ready to carry it, Kokum said. Carry felt heavier than hold, steadier than wear. What if I am not? Wren asked. Then you will practice until you are, Kokum said. That is how people do most things. Wren held the waistband like a small bird that needed calming. She stepped in, the fabric slid around her legs with a leaf sound. The green fell in a clean line. The ribbons rested against her shins. Look, Kokum said. In the mirror, Wren did not look taller. She looked steadier, like a stone set back in a path where it belongs. She shifted her weight. The skirt answered with a quiet swish. The ribbons lifted as if they were waiting. Her eyes slid to the silver. It seemed to flicker. She blinked. Only the light, probably. How does it feel? Kokum asked. Different, Wren said. Right, and a little like the skirt is watching me back. Skirts have stories, Kokum said. Stories like to know who is holding them. That is not watching. That is listening. Listening felt less scary. Wren smiled at the skirt in the mirror, then felt silly and smiled anyways. That night, Wren folded the skirt, the careful way Kokum showed her. She set it in the drawer, top drawer, on the right, where she kept the good things. She wrote in her notebook, moss green. Then she drew a thin line, silver. In the quiet dark, if anyone had been there, they might have said silver gathered a thread of starlight and let it go again. Not a shine, only the softest glimmer here and gone. No one saw. The promise didn't need witnesses. Morning made the silver look dull. Wren touched it with one fingertip. Cold, always colder than the rest, she yanked her hand back. At school, she tried to think about ordinary things, math problems. Tessa talking about her cousin lost in the woods while picking mushrooms, the smell of peanut butter in the hallway. But the silver ribbon followed her thoughts like a stitched shadow. During art, she sketched lines, long vertical strokes of green. She added red, blue, yellow, and silver. No matter how she pressed, the pencil did not catch the silver's gleam. She added darker, darker still. The ribbon turned black. Her chest tightened. That evening, Kokum served stew. Thyme and warmth filled the house. Kokum, Wren asked, do ribbons change? What kind of change? Kokum asked. If one looked different, Wren said, from the others or from before. Ribbons are stitched with intentions, Kokum said. They cannot fade if cared for. Change, maybe, if the story inside them is not finished. What if it turned black? Wren asked. Did it? Kokum asked. She stared at her bowl. I think so. Kokum sat with that for a long time. Then maybe it's asking you to listen. Wren went to her room and put on the skirt. Red glowed like coals, blue rippled like water, yellow held steady like the small sun. The silver was not silver. It had gone black. Not dim, not shadowed, black, like it swallowed light. Her breath hitched. She pressed her hand to it. Cold, she pulled away. In the dark later, the black ribbon pulsed like a second heartbeat. Wren buried her face in the pillow. Sleep came anyway, and with it, trees. The fall gathering brought wood smoke and frost in the grass. Wren's mother braided her hair. The moss-green fabric swished as Wren danced. She smoothed the ribbons, but her hand hovered over the silver. It lay flat and quiet. She tried not to tug. The field was alive with sounds, drums, laughter, aunties selling beadwork, bannock, maple sugar candy, elders wrapped in blankets, nodding as people pass. She looks good in it, someone murmured. She walks like her Kokum, another said. Wren's cheeks burned. She held her chin high and stepped into the circle where the drums called. Left, right, lift, step. The drum's voice told her feet where to go. The skirt moved like it knew the path. Dusk deepened, the fire-painted copper along the horizon. Wren glanced up. The ribbons glowed. Not a reflection, a glow from within. Red like embers, blue like lake water under the moon, yellow like warm stone. The silver had gone black again. Her steps faltered. She pressed her hand to the dark ribbon, colder than the wind, colder than the ground. The circle moved around her, laughter, song. Only Wren seemed to notice. The black ribbon tugged towards the trees. Wren kept her place in the circle, breath shallow, hands steady by force. When the song ended, she slipped at the edge. An elder passed and nodded. "She walks good in it," he said. Wren wanted to say, "It does not walk good with me." She said nothing. That night, folded across her quilt, the black ribbon glimmered with darkness that felt like questions. Wren lay awake, then not. Sleep took her, sudden and heavy. She stood in a clearing under bare trees. Snow dusted the ground. Her skirt swayed, ribbons faintly alive, red, blue, yellow, silver hung still. A girl stepped from the trees, not much older than Wren. Her eyes were older than Kokum's. Her braids were long. She walked closer, silent. She looked down at the hem. She touched the black ribbon with her fingertips, then laid her hand on her heart. Wren wanted to ask everything. The words would not come. The girl's eyes softened. She gave the slightest nod as if she had heard the question anyways, and then stepped back into the shadow and was gone. Wren woke, heart racing. The skirt lay where she had left it. Red, blue, yellow, silver, black as space. At breakfast, Wren told Kokum, the clearing, the girl, the touch. Kokum did not laugh. "The silver ribbon was sewn by my cousin," she said. "She made it for her first dance. She never made it to the gathering. She walked on before she had a chance. I kept the skirt because I could not bear to take it apart. Maybe I was holding her shadow." Wren pictured the girl, waiting, watching, carrying. The ribbon felt heavy to her touch, not cold, heavy like a hand asking to be held. Wren wanted every piece of Kokum's memory. Kokum spoke slowly, like the words were glass. She was younger, Kokum said. Quick with a laugh, she chose silver so the moonlight would find her when she danced. She was proud of those stitches. Then sickness came fast. By the time I went to see her, she was gone. Silence filled the kitchen. The clock ticked, the tap dripped once. "And now you have seen her," Kokum said. Wren nodded. "If she comes to you, she trusts you to carry her," Kokum said. The ribbon turned black because her story did not finish. "You are walking for the both of you now." "What if I do it wrong?" Wren asked. "You will do it right because you are asking. Only those who care enough to wonder carry with care." Wren spread the skirt across her lap later and traced each ribbon. Red warmed her finger like ember heat. Blue cooled like river stones. Yellow felt steady like the palm of sunlight. Silver was still dark but not icy. "I will walk for both of us." The ribbon did not shine. It held a faint warmth like a touch returned. Wren didn't wear the skirt every day. That felt careless. She did not hide it away either. It rested on her quilt most nights, a quiet lantern that needed no match. At the table, helping Kokum bead new moccasins, the skirt lay across Wren's legs. Beads skipped into place. Now and then the hem shifted, though the window were closed against November cold. Once the silver stirred like a small breeze had passed. Wren held her breath. It felt cool, not sharp, like shallow water over stone. "You sew steadier with that skirt on," Kokum said. "Maybe it's helping me," Wren said. "Or maybe you're helping it." Alone, later that night, Wren put on an old fiddle record. She slipped into the skirt and swayed. She tried a few steps she had seen cousins do. The skirt seemed to know before she did. When she turned too quickly, it tipped. The silver tugged just enough to steady her. "You are helping me," Wren said, surprised and laughing. Each time she wore it, the silver changed. After the beating, it lightened to a deep charcoal. After the dancing, it softened to storm cloud gray. She traced it at night. "You are coming back," she whispered. Quiet signs gathered. The silver curled towards the doorway before she thought of leaving. It lifted gently when she bent over homework, as if wanting to see. Once, sweeping the floor, she heard footsteps that were not hers, soft, steady, and just behind. She turned. No one. The ribbon shimmered with almost silver. "I'm not alone, am I?" she whispered. The hem brushed her legs, a quiet answer. By the first snow, the silver no longer held the dark. It gleamed like a river under ice. Wren watched it glow softly and felt steady rise in her. The girl was still walking. Wren was carrying her forward. Snow wrapped the world. Wren wore the skirt to bead with Kokum, then folded it neatly on her quilt. She closed her eyes with fear. The clearing welcomed her. This time, the snow covered everything. The moon was pale, her breath curled like smoke. The skirt swayed, red, blue, yellow, the silver shimmering gray, not black. The girl stepped out again, braids long, eyes bright, bare feet pressing prints that faded too fast. Wren whispered, "I saw you before." The girl nodded. The trees dissolved and the gathering field rose up, lit by fire. The drum beats filled Wren's chest. Dancers flowed like water, skirts twirled, ribbons lifted and fell. Wren stood at the edge in a dream. The girl stood beside her. She stepped forward and her feet did not touch the ground. Her body flickered like smoke. Wren understood. This was the girl's dance, the one she had not reached. The girl lifted her hand. Wren took it, cold, then warm. The drum deepened. Together they stepped into the circle. Wren's feet moved with a new surety. Left, right, turn. The skirt lifted, ribbons glowing. For a moment, Wren could not tell which feet were hers. The girl's face was joy. The drum slowed, the fire dimmed, the circle faded. The girl placed her palm over her heart and touched Wren's chest in the same place. Warmth bloomed there, steady. She stepped back into the mist and was gone. Wren woke with tears. The silver ribbon gleamed on the quilt. "You danced," she whispered. The hem fluttered once. The heaviness in her chest felt like a promise kept. Another promise still to keep. Snow squeaked under Wren's boots as she and her mother walked to the community hall. The winter round dance lit the cold season like a lantern. Wren's heart buzzed with more than excitement. She had promised. Tonight, they would walk together. She polished the green, smoothed each ribbon. The silver gleamed like a thin line of river ice, waiting. Inside, the hall smelt like stew, fry bread, and wood smoke in coats. Families clustered. Children chased each other. Elders nodded near the front. The first drumbeat rose, deep, steady, ancient. Wren's mother squeezed her shoulders. "Go on." Wren stepped into the circle. Left, right, step, lift. The skirt moved with her. Halfway through the song, she felt a shoulder brush her own, a rhythm of footsteps beside her. She did not look. She knew. The ribbons glowed, red like fire, blue like water, yellow like sun, silver like moonlight, stitched in thread. Wren closed her eyes for one breath. Another set of feet matched hers. Another braid trickled her shoulder. A laugh, soft and familiar, curled in her ear. The girl, Kokum's cousin, the one who had not had her dance. They moved together, two shadows, one skirt. When the song ended, the circle loosened. Wren stepped away, chest trembling. The silver shone faintly, not glaring, steady. "Thank you," Wren whispered. For just an instant, she felt a hand press back. Morning came quiet. Wren sat up and touched the silver, warm now, steady. At breakfast, Kokum's eyes lingered on the skirt, draped over a chair. "You walked well," Kokum said. "You saw?" Wren asked. "I did not need to see," Kokum said. "I felt it. The circle felt it. My cousin walked last night." Wren blinked hard and nodded. In the weeks that followed, Wren wore the skirt in small ways, sweeping the porch, stringing beads, walking slowly on ice. The silver did not blaze, but it shimmered now and then, like breathing. Once the hem lifted towards her notebook, as if wanting to watch her draw. Wren laughed. "All right," she said. "You can watch." One evening, violet light lingered in the window. Wren stood before the mirror. She did not feel like she was pretending. She saw herself. She saw Kokum. She saw the cousin with the long braids, all stitched together by one line of silver thread. "I will carry you," Wren said to the ribbon. "Not just at dances, everywhere." The skirt swished a quiet answer. She folded it carefully that night and turned off the light. In the dark, the silver pulsed, not bright, not dark, just steady, like a lantern that never goes out. Wren closed her eyes. Carrying pride with care did not mean walking alone. It meant walking for more than herself. And she was ready. Wren's story reminds us that clothing, when sewn with love and memory, is never just cloth. Each ribbon, each hem, is a line connecting us to those who came before. Some steps are ours to take, and some we take for others. When we move with care, we don't walk alone. We walk with the unseen, the unfinished, and the unforgotten. And in that way, every circle grows wider, every dance grows stronger, and every shadow finds its light. The moral of The Skirt That Carried a Shadow is about more than wearing something with pride. It's about carrying history with respect, responsibility, and love. We inherit gifts that are heavier than they seem, stitched with voices, prayers, and promises. When we accept them, we agree to walk not only for ourselves, but also for those who could not. Some shadows are not meant to frighten us. They are meant to remind us of the people whose stories ended too soon, and whose steps still need finishing. To carry pride with care is to understand that your footsteps ripple backwards as much as they move forward. Every time you walk with honor, you bring someone else along. Every time you dance, you help finish a song that someone else never got to hear. That is how traditions live, through care, through courage, through remembering that we are never alone in the circle. Thank you so much for listening tonight. Be sure to check back soon. Thank you for listening to Sleep Tight Frights. It means more than you know, to us and to the things that listen back. I'm Ever Gray, your guide through the shadows, and if you felt something was watching as the story unfolded, you're not alone. They remember the ones who listen, they wait for the ones who return. So come back soon. Sleep tight if you can.